Hello, PEI. Today, let's jump right into something really special about this island.
That friendliness.
The openness.
Exactly, that legendary spirit you always hear about.
It really is a thing. It makes PEI stand out. But, why? Why does it feel like that here?
Well, that's actually what got us started on this deep dive.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we were given this great perspective from Mike Montague over at RE/MAX Charlottetown. He's a come from away, like me.
Ah, right. So not born here, but chose PEI.
Exactly. And he shared this observation he had, I think it was during a chamber mixer with Eric Labor over at the Delta.
Okay.
And what he said was really striking. This island, it just has this palpable, welcoming spirit, something you really don't find in bigger, busier cities.
That tracks. You definitely feel something different here.
Right. So our mission today is to really unpack those insights Mike shared. He's got this unique view as someone who deliberately picked PEI.
And figure out what makes this connection tick. And maybe what his view suggests for the future. That's the plan. Okay, so let's get into it. Mike's perspective, it really digs into why this friendliness feels so, ingrained here. What stood out to you first?
Well, he really highlighted this strong sense of shared identity, how that seems to be a huge driver for positive connections.
Shared identity. Who's so?
He used these examples like, boaters waving to each other or motorcyclists giving that nod.
Okay. People sharing an activity and experience, they connect naturally.
Precisely. You already share a world, right? A common interest.
Makes sense.
And Mike's take is that just being an island, well, it inherently gives islanders this strong sense of being collectively separate.
Separate from the mainland.
Yeah. That islandness, he suggests, creates this heightened shared identity right from the start, whether you arrive or you're born here.
So it's not just about, the physical island. It's how the geography shapes that shared identity. That's the starting point for connection.
That seems to be a key piece Mike's putting forward. This strong island identity, maybe combined with the lifestyle, the landscape. He almost felt like friendliness is kind of baked into the DNA here.
Baked in. I like that. But then he added another layer, right?
Yeah, and this is really interesting. Mike also pointed to a history here, a history of real community participation.
Like getting involved.
Exactly. A tradition of paying it forward, where belonging isn't just passive, it's actively encouraged every day.
So it's a conscious effort, too, not just something that happens because it's an island.
That's a crucial point he makes. It's an active cultural practice. He described PEI feeling like a real neighborhood in a lot of ways.
It's geographically defined.
Right, unlike some sprawling, anonymous city where you don't know anyone.
That comparison, the neighborhood feel versus the big city, that really makes it clear.
Yeah.
You're more likely to feel that connection or feel okay starting one in a neighborhood setting.
Definitely. And this is where the concern comes in. Mike, and he was echoing a point from Eric Labor here, he introduced this really critical worry.
Which is?
That as PEI's population grows, as more people move here, there's a risk, right?
Yeah.
A risk that this open, friendly personality could start to dilute.
Like it often does in bigger places that grow fast.
Exactly. It's a real possibility.
And that's kind of the big takeaway, isn't it? This friendliness, it's not just, a nice little extra.
No, not at all.
Mike's perspective is that it's, and I think this is his phrase, unmistakably one of Prince Edward Island's greatest assets.
It's incredibly valuable. If you think about the bigger picture, this openness is a huge part of PEI's appeal.
Attracts tourists, attracts new residents.
Right. So potentially losing that or having it diminish could really change the whole character of the island. Significantly.
So, okay, what does this boil down to for you listening right now? Mike Montague's insights, they really suggest PEI's unique friendliness comes from a few places.
Yeah, the strong island identity creating connection.
That history of community participation we talked about.
Yeah. And that deliberate neighborhood feeling that encourages belonging.
But, as Mike cautions, growth is a potential challenge. Keeping that spirit alive might take effort.
Which leaves us with a thought, really. Given that this quality, this friendliness, is such a core asset for PEI, how can that conscious effort continue? How do we keep encouraging connection and preserve this unique spirit, effectively, as the island inevitably changes?
It's definitely a question for everyone who loves this place to think about.
For sure.
And a huge thank you to Mike Montague of RE/MAX Charlottetown for sharing his perspective and sparking this whole deep dive. It was really insightful.
Absolutely. Great points.
So if you found this conversation helpful, please do like and subscribe.
It helps others find the discussion.
And maybe share this deep dive because, helping people understand what makes PEI special, that's probably a pretty good way to help keep it the friendly, open place that it is.